In today's show, we're going to visit a place that's preserved some of Irvine's original structures, that offers free wildlife educational programming, and that makes you feel like you're in the middle of the wilderness, even though you're right here in the heart of Irvine. Coming up on this episode of Irvine Scene. Welcome to Irvine Scene. Today, we'll be visiting the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary, where we're about to meet Trudy Hurd, who's the project director of education here at the Sea and Sage Audubon Society. And here she comes. Trudy, thank you so much for meeting us, and thank you for taking us on a tour today. Where are we going to start?
Let's start right here in Audubon House.
Very good. Thank you very much. So, Trudy, tell me about the Audubon House.
Well, this is a former duck hunter's bunkhouse, and now it has a gift shop, educational displays, and a friendly volunteer on duty every day to help your questions.
Let's go meet that friendly volunteer.
Good morning. This is Audubon House. I'm John. Do you have any questions?
That was friendly. Yeah. As we head over here, we are heading into the gift shop. What might someone expect to find here in the gift shop?
We sell a lot of books, birding books and nature books to help you understand the nature that's here.
Oh, nice. So are the books specific to what is in the area, or at least some of them?
Some of it is local to help you understand Orange County's wildlife, but also bird watching around the world.
Oh, very nice. You've also got some T-shirts. I see shirts, calendars. So this gift shop is really pretty good for an outdoor enthusiast in general.
Correct. Yeah, we have a lot of people who come here looking for gifts for their children, in addition to things for themselves. What
happens to the money that this business generates?
All of the proceeds benefit our education and our conservation activities.
Okay, Trudy. So how much is this one going to cost me?
It's going to cost you nothing because you can't buy it. It's an educational display. Then we have to have federal permits in order to possess these.
Oh, no kidding. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me a little about, so this, what is this educational display?
This is a male red-tailed hawk, very common throughout Orange County, and you can see it pretty much any time of day here at the Marsh.
Okay, and great. And what else do we have here now? This is, I see an owl on the wall over here. Is this
great horned owl. Okay. It's brown as opposed to the barn owl, which is very pale colored, and you can see either one of those at night.
Okay, and then the kids can come here, and what do we have up here? We have two different crows?
Some people don't believe that there's ravens in Orange County, but they are. As you
I don't believe you.
It's here.
Here it is.
They're much larger than crows, and they have a different call.
Much quieter, too, I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to do bird calls on camera?
Could you please make a raven call for me? That's good stuff. Okay, great. What else do we have over here now? This is another display.
We have a bobcat, which has raised a family here for the last 6 years. You can be walking on the trails, and she'll just walk by with her young. If she feels uncomfortable, she'll walk off into the bushes, but you don't have to worry about her. She's small. She's more afraid of you than you are of her.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Now, and then we have some more things over here. We have this little hawk of some sort?
Yeah. It's a sharp-shinned hawk, and if you feed birds in your backyard, you are bound to see this bird because it eats smaller birds. Take a look at its feet.
Oh, there's actually a small bird in its feet.
Yes.
Now, this behind us is a kind of important part of the educational display here. What is this?
Well, the visitors can come in and see what is common here today.
Nice. So if you want to come walk the trails and see what's here, you can first stop in here and kind of get a preview of what to look for?
Right. It's a short display about the common plants, animals, and bugs that you could see on the trail today.
On a typical day, how many might you expect to see?
Oh, probably about 50 different species of birds, and a lot of different butterflies and dragonflies and lizards and rabbits and all kinds of things.
Outstanding. Okay, so what can we, what should we go see next?
How about if we go see the duck club?
So Trudy, tell me about the duck hunting clubs.
Well, there used to be 20 different hunting clubs in this area, and they made their way down to about 2 or 3. These were wealthy businessmen that came down from Pasadena and LA County to hunt the ducks here. That's why this property was saved. Well, now the Irvine Ranch Water District owns the property, and anyone who's an Irvine Ranch Water District customer can rent this building free of charge. That means weddings, receptions, birthday parties, all kinds of things.
And wow, this is some space. This is a lot bigger than I thought. Tell me what else happens in this building.
Well, in summer, we have a summer camp program, and the girls spend the night in this building, the boys are in the other building. And if it's Monday night, it's bingo night.
So tell me about this piece behind us.
Well, this is a mosaic that was designed by our summer camp kids.
Okay.
And we put that together as a thank you to the Water District for them providing these wonderful facilities for us.
Very nice. Tell me, is there anything in this piece that you particularly like yourself?
I really like this section right up here.
And why is that?
I did it.
Okay, Trudy, where are we headed now?
Welcome to the Marsh Campus.
Now there's a beautiful greenhouse on our right. What's this place?
This is the caretaker's cottage. It's one of the Water District employees who lives here on site, so in case of an emergency, he's close to the water treatment plant.
Okay, and then and I see tell me about these other structures.
Well, these are all historical buildings. They were on the property of the Irvine Ranch that was going to be developed, and so Pierce Swan, the director of the Water District, went ahead and had these moved here and saved.
Tell me about this beautiful blue house with this wraparound porch and the white trim.
Well, it was built in the year 1900, and now it's our administrative office.
Very nice. Now, directly behind us is a decidedly pink house.
Yes. This is the Irvine Ranch Water District's Marsh House.
And the Marsh House, what's in there?
There's water displays.
Can we take a look at these?
Sure can. It's open every day of the year between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Okay. And the water displays, what do they sort of illustrate?
Well, this whole area is very innovative in how the Irvine Ranch Water District treats water. When people come here, they can see an example of the natural treatment system.
Okay, so we left campus and now we're out in the part that I really like. We're on the trail system. Tell me what's available to people who want to come see this beautiful sanctuary.
Well, this sanctuary is 300 acres and there's over 10 miles of hiking trails. The paths are very simple and easy to walk on. There's no high elevational gain. So it's a great place for the whole family to come. You can hike, you can walk, you can photograph, you can watch birds, you can paint. Just don't bring your dogs. No bikes and no horses.
And that's so you have a less impact on the wildlife here.
That is correct.
What's striking to me is I feel so isolated, like I'm out in the middle of nowhere. It's very peaceful. I really feel like I'm in nature, but really surrounded by a lot of development. Isn't that true?
That is correct. We are right in the middle of a very busy city, and yet you can feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. These kinds of places are so important. You don't have to drive to Yellowstone or to another state. You can have a wildlife area right in your backyard that's accessible as long as you've got it protected.
And that's what we have right here in our own backyard in Irvine. Okay, Trudy, tell me about the space we're in. Where are we now?
This is the Education Center.
Excellent. And tell me a little bit about the education program.
Well, we offer programs for a variety of ages, starting with the school children. We do 2 different programs. One is called Outdoor Adventures, where the kids get to look at what we've collected out of the water using microscopes, and then they all get their own binoculars to see the birds out on the ponds. So they make the connection that if we have healthy water here, you'll have lots of bugs in the water, and you'll have lots of birds out on the ponds. We also have an Art Meets Science program for 4th grade, and that's where the kids make the connection between artists who painted California 100 years ago, and they get to go to the Irvine Museum, and then they come here and they see what this is like, a wetlands, a habitat today. They paint a mural that they take back to the school, so they're kind of like the artists who showed what California used to look like, only now they're showing their school what a wetlands looks like today.
Kind of like a before and after?
Yes.
Then there's also camps.
Correct, and that's for ages between 7 and 17, and we have a week-long program during the day, and it culminates in advanced camp where the kids get to spend the night.
Now, how about for the adults?
For adults, we have bat walk programs, monthly nature walks, and monthly bird walks.
Very good, and I'm going to go on one of those later on.
You'll enjoy it. There's a wide diversity of birds here.
Nice. Now, tell me a little bit about education, about the environment in general. Why is it important?
It's important because you need to be aware of what's here before you can understand it, before you can respect it, and before you can protect it. And that's what a lot of the teachers tell us that the school kids say, is that they now are more aware of wildlife in their backyard and in their school.
So now we're out in the middle of the wildlife sanctuary. It is very peaceful out here. It is a great place to come. It's one of how many ponds here?
There's about 11 different ponds that are in here.
No kidding. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the Sea and Sage Society and what is it that you do?
Well, Sea and Sage is all about education, conservation, and research, and we want to protect birds and the habitat that they live in. So the conservation program is about making sure that any development plan in Orange County that affects the natural areas will be done in a way that does not negatively affect the species that are there.
Very good. Now tell me, why is that important?
Well, you don't know how things are interconnected. Everything's an ecosystem and everything is interdependent. So you can't take out pieces and not affect the rest of the ecosystem.
Not affect the whole. And I'm guessing, you know, some people say, well, you know, so a species dies, so what? But you're saying if you take out a certain species, it could definitely negatively impact not only the ecosystem, which we're a part of, right?
We are definitely a part of the ecosystem, and even small pieces that you might overlook, you don't know what role that they play.
Right. And I'm guessing that it's better to know before you do something than once it's too late.
Yeah, once something is extinct, it will never come back, and we're so fortunate in Orange County to have such a diversity of wildlife. In fact, it's one of the hot spots in the whole world where there's species that are found nowhere else, and we want to make sure that that maintains.
And when you say education, conservation, and research, tell me about the research.
Well, for over 100 years, National Audubon Society has been monitoring the wintering bird populations. It's called the Christmas bird count. And so in Orange County, we've got a lot of different sites that the birders go out and they count every single bird. So that's one of the biggest volunteer-run programs that we do. We also have biologists who are monitoring the sensitive species, such as cactus wren and California gnatcatcher and the snowy plover.
And so, and then this information is important to who and why?
It's all a part of science, and so we can monitor populations that are increasing or decreasing, and if the birds are decreasing, then we can start doing some plans that will help bring those numbers back up.
We're at the Audubon House for the docent-led Sea and Sage Sunday Walk, and I'm here with Christopher, our docent. Christopher, what are we about to embark on here today?
We're going for a walk which may last up to 3 hours around the ponds here to see what birds we can find.
If you've never been here before and you're coming down for the first time like I am, you very kindly are allowing me to use the binoculars. Is there a charge for this?
No, we have a lot of loaner binoculars which we want people to use. Last month, for those of you who were here, we actually had a record month. We had 84 species that we tallied up for those of you who stayed to the bitter end. That was a record, I think, by at least 10. I'm not going to say we're going to get anywhere close today, but hey, who knows? So let's go out this way, a normal way, and see what we can find. Seals. Oh yeah, it's where the fence comes down to the water, go along 1.5 panels. These small birds are least sandpipers. Now, sandlings are one you find on the shoreline. Two mallets. They're the most common ducks of all. For the white patch on the rump, that's diagnostic of the northern harrier. 50 feet up in the air, coming towards us to the flying left. Osprey up there flying. Ospreys have bred here the last 2 years, although the one this year didn't mature. But last year was the first ever breeding of an osprey here at the sanctuary. There they come around these ponds and pick up fish. It's neat when you see an osprey catch a fish. It'll catch the fish, then it'll rearrange it such that it's like this, it flies along with the fish down below it.
Tell me, what is that? What are those boxes over there?
Those are nesting boxes for tree swallows.
Okay.
Tree swallows are cavity nesters, so they would need cavities in old trees, of which there aren't a lot left.
Right.
So the Sea and Sage Audubon has set up those boxes for them, and they nest there beginning in the spring.
I've been birding since I was it's probably about 7 years. There's something I find enjoyable just about going out, finding the bird, and just the challenge of probably identifying it. I like getting into conversations or arguments, saying that I see this, I see that. Someone's probably looking at the scope saying this, while 3 other people are looking at the book saying, no, it could be this type of bird, while it could be that type of bird or something like that.
Have you ever seen a physical altercation break out?
No, I have not seen that.
How long have you been married?
26 years.
And when did birding become a part of your relationship, or the things that you do together?
About 10 years ago. So it was after we moved to Irvine that we started going for walks. Then we saw an announcement for this monthly bird walk. And we came out of curiosity, and was it interesting, and we started coming regularly.
I think this has been a good thing for your relationship?
Yeah, actually.
Because it's something we do together, go out in nature.
What's the biggest fight you ever had over a bird?
And she keeps saying, well, it has a bill like this. And I go, no, it doesn't. Its bill is different. And at the end, we discovered we weren't looking at the same bird.
Joined today with Michael, who took first place at the Science Olympiad Ornithology, first place in the state of California. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah.
Now, Mike, you've been, you know a lot of birds. What's the rarest bird you've ever seen here?
Probably the Mandarin duck. It's native to, I believe, China.
How many birds do you think you can identify at this time?
I can probably identify like over 300.
To know for sure, maybe 150 or 200.
200, 300 species.
An American widgeon over here, swimming along the reeds. I wonder whether it was a pintail. Pintail there, yeah.
I'm just looking for the pintail here. It's 76.
And now, did you saw a bird?
I saw a bird, and it looked like a pintail.
Okay.
So now we want to just verify that it is a pintail.
What led you to believe that it might have been a pintail?
Now, what I saw was a gray body, and it had white on its chest and its neck. But I couldn't see what was the head.
It has that white, just like she described, and the gray on the body and black on the tail. And I did see a little kind of brownish head, and so it looks pretty close to that.
So what do we think? What's the consensus? Are we going to call it a pintail or are we not?
I think we're going to.
We all concluded that it was a
pintail. Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
We've got an American kestrel. It's a female up there sitting on the top of the dead snag. It's a nice bird to see. We saw one earlier, but it was a long, long way away. This time it's nice to get one close up, and if you put your binoculars and your scope up, get a nice view of it. And we can tell it's the female because it has a reddy back, whereas the male has a steely bluey grey back. Is it a male? I had it turned around then, because I thought when we looked at it earlier, oh, I've goofed on that one, haven't I?
What I do is take the one copy of the field guide, and when I see a bird for the first time, I write in where and when I saw it. Those who have yearly lists, keep lists for the birds they've seen in Orange County, have North American lists, and California lists and so on. But I think that's also a bit obsessive and sort of.
That's a good way of putting it, because some of the birders, you might say they are obsessed. I mean,
we don't hang out with those people here in Irvine.
No. We like to go with the gentleman birders, like Chris.
If you're a birder, is it a requirement that you have an accent?
I don't have an accent. You have an accent.
And so we come to the end of our walk today, where the ritual is to do our bird count. So everybody says what they saw, and then we check them up on the list, and we find out what's the big tally for today's walk.
Oh, well, we had Spotty, we had just least, I didn't see a Western.
No Western.
Skimmer, no one had a mourning dove.
Did anyone have a mourning dove?
No, no mourning dove.
Wait, somebody saw two mourning doves, yeah.
Thank you.
We got a mourning dove. I saw a penguin.
I don't believe you.
I like you too.
No, I saw a penguin. They're not accepting my submission.
We had Rent It. I heard it back in there just a few minutes ago.
You got white-faced ibis? Oh, we had a white-faced ibis.
I had an ibis. Oh, great. Where did you see that? $60.
60, all right.
Not too bad. Huh? Not too bad.
Yeah.
We're standing under a trellis that marks the boundary of the butterfly garden. Tell me about that exhibit.
Oh, this is a beautiful garden that was actually built by 2 Eagle Scouts and 1 Girl Scout doing her Gold Award. Oh. So what you see, the trellis, the displays, and the fencing, even the plants were planted specifically by this group of volunteers.
Now, let's talk a little bit about volunteers. Do you use volunteers here?
Oh, we certainly do.
Yeah.
Sea and Sage Audubon is a volunteer-run organization. I'm the only full-time paid employee, so we depend on our volunteers to keep the Audubon House open, to run our educational programs with the school kids, and to do all of our conservation work. So no matter what your talents are, we can find a place for you.
How are you involved here at the Wildlife Sanctuary?
I go to Chapman University, just graduated actually, and as a part of my internship, I decided to help out here at San Joaquin and ended up writing these 3 brochures.
Excellent. So you volunteered your time and, of course, received credit, but you volunteered and you wrote the brochures. Mm-hmm. And how long have you been coming here?
Since I was 9. Started at camp, started teaching camp, and I've been here ever since.
If somebody would like to volunteer, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Come see me.
Okay.
Or actually, you can go to our website, or you can come talk to the volunteer on duty, and we will definitely put you to work.
So how else could people help support the Audubon Society?
Well, if you don't have time to volunteer, you can help make a financial contribution by becoming a member.
And you are the butterfly lady?
I am.
So, Kay, tell me, what are you doing here today?
Well, I finally decided I'd better join the Audubon Society in addition because I love butterflies and birds.
And now you're a member?
I am going to be as soon as he accepts my check.
We have over 3,500 members, and we love every one of them.
Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Irvine Scene. And I really hope you come down to the Wildlife Sanctuary, maybe participate in some of the programs, but definitely come down and enjoy the serenity and the peace that this great resource offers to the residents of Irvine. We'll see you on the next Irvine Scene.